Hey everyone, today we're going to make a delicious brioche loaf. Typically brioche has lots of butter in it, however this version's going to have a lot less. So we're going to begin by adding 225 grams of bread flour to a stand mixer, followed by 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. So now you want to pop in 1 teaspoon of salt, and you want to keep this separate from the yeast, because the salt doesn't really like the yeast. The salt can be a little salty at times. Now add 30 grams of sugar. So let's lock the machine down, and I'm just going to whiz it up just a little bit just to combine everything. It's time for 50 grams of whole milk. Now while the mixer is running, I'm just going to go in with 2 whole eggs, one at a time. The flour tends to get stuck up the side, so I'm just going to push it down. So this is the dough 5 minutes later. As you can see, it's sort of elastic and shiny now. Be aware that this is quite a sticky dough, so you've just got to be patient with it. So now I'm going to go in with 50 grams of butter. That can be unsalted, salted, doesn't really matter. Let's pop the mixer down once again, and we're just going to mix this for another 5 to 6 minutes until the dough is nice and smooth once again. 5 to 7 minutes later, it's all ready. I'm just going to pop it off the base, unplug my machine, and now it's time to let it rise. So I'm going to let it proof for about 1 to 1.5 hours. Now here we are, it's more than, I'd say tripled in size, hasn't it? It's gone really big now. A nice slap, there we go, just to deflate all the gas bubbles in there. You can actually see how thicker the dough has gotten now that it's rested for quite a long time. Let's take the dough out of the bowl, and I'm going to pop it onto a nice clean surface to work with. So the shape of this loaf of brioche that I'm making is going to be a 3-stranded braid. So for that to happen, I'm going to need to split this dough up into 3 bits. I probably should have floured the surface. As you can see, it's kind of sticking, but don't do what I did, make sure you flour your surface. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking the weight of the entire dough ball, which seems to be 466 grams. So if you divide that by 3, you'll get 155 grams. So after I divided the dough into 3 balls, I took 1 ball and I sort of flattened it out, as you can see, and then I sort of rolled it up to create a really long snake, which I then repeated for the other 2 balls. Then I took the 3 strands and I put them together as shown. I sort of pinched them at the top. Okay, so I'm not even going to try and explain how to braid this, so just follow how to do this in the video, guys. It's actually pretty simple, you're just doing one thing over and over again. And here's the completed braid, guys. Looks so good, I cannot wait to bake this. Here I'm just giving it a little touch up just to make sure it's all perfect. A little drizzle of oil goes into the pan so it doesn't stick. Let's just rub it all down just to make sure everything's covered. And now it's time to ever so gently place it inside the tin. Time for a bit of egg wash for a nice glossy finish. That's just 1 egg plus a bit of water just to thin it out. Just brush it on carefully like you're painting a portrait. So now I'm just going to let this little guy rise for about 1 to 1.5 hours in a nice warm place until it's doubled. Once 30 minutes of your proofing time are left, you want to preheat your oven to 160 fan or 180 conventional. Whoa, it's puffed up massively, guys, look at that. So now we're going to pop it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it springs back when we touch it and there's a nice golden brown colour. Here it is folks, have a look at that. Beautiful. Springs back when pressed and it has a beautiful golden finish. What else could you want, guys? Here it is out of the pan, nice and cool. Now we're going to give it a nice slice using my bread knife. Here's a little closer look. Look at all those air bubbles. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. We'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!